There's a kind of person who hasn't cried in years, not because nothing has hurt. Plenty has. They just don't reach for tears anymore. Somewhere along the way, the tears stopped showing up, even when the pain clearly did. If you're someone who watches a sad film dry-eyed while everyone around you is reaching for tissues, or you've sat through genuinely devastating news feeling strangely still inside, you've probably wondered what's wrong with you. The answer almost certainly isn't that something is wrong. It's that something, a long time ago, taught you this was safer. Picture a child who cries, and instead of comfort, gets told to stop. Not cruelly necessarily. Maybe just a tired parent saying, "That's enough now." Or, "Big kids don't cry over this. Once is nothing." But repeated enough times, a child starts running a quiet calculation in the background of their mind. Crying gets a reaction I don't want, so crying needs to stop. The remarkable thing is how good the mind gets at this. It doesn't just teach the child to hide tears. Eventually, it stops producing the urge to cry at all. The shutdown moves further upstream, closer to the source, until the feeling barely registers before it's already being filed away somewhere else. Psychologists sometimes call this emotional suppression, though that word makes it sound more deliberate than it actually feels from the inside. It's not really a choice in the moment. It's closer to a reflex, the same way you don't choose to flinch from something hot. The nervous system learned early and thoroughly that this particular response wasn't welcome, so it quietly stopped offering it. Here's the part that matters. This isn't the same as not feeling things. The feeling is usually still there, somewhere underneath. What's missing is the bridge between the feeling and its expression, like a phone line that's been disconnected. The call is still trying to come through, it just isn't reaching the part of you that would normally pick it up as tears. Sit with that for a second, because there's a real difference between someone who is numb because they don't care, and someone who is numb because caring, at some point, costs too much. You've probably met someone like this without realizing what you were looking at. The friend who delivers terrible news about their own life in a flat, almost rehearsed voice, like they're reading someone else's diagnosis out loud. The person who comforts everyone else at a funeral, dry-eyed and composed, then goes home to an empty apartment and still doesn't cry there either. The adult who can recount a genuinely painful childhood story with the same tone they'd use to describe their commute, because somewhere the emotional charge got separated from the facts a long time ago. None of these people are cold. They're people whose tears got rerouted so early, they no longer know where the original path even was. And here's the part most people get wrong about this. Not crying doesn't mean someone has dealt with their pain. Often it means the opposite. The pain never got processed at all, because crying is one of the ways a body actually moves emotion through and out. Without it, the feeling doesn't disappear. It just stays, unspent, showing up later as exhaustion that has no clear cause, or irritability that seems to come from nowhere, or a strange heaviness on certain days for reasons that don't add up. Pause on that, because it changes how you might see yourself, or someone close to you who hasn't cried in longer than they can remember. If this is you, this isn't a problem to fix by force. You can't will tears back into existence any more than you could will them away in the first place, but you can start, gently, by noticing the moments where something rises, and then quietly recognizing it instead of immediately filing it away. Not performing an emotion you don't feel, just pausing for a second where you'd normally rush past. That noticing, done enough times, is sometimes how the line slowly reconnects. Not through force, through permission, repeated quietly, until the body starts to believe it's actually allowed. You didn't lose the ability to feel. You just learned, a long time ago, to feel quietly, in a place even you stopped checking. And that's not broken. That's just a door that's been closed for a while, waiting for someone, maybe even you, to try the handle again.